Satchidananda Ashram, Yogaville. This is Shanti. How may I serve you?
Rama 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 Rama. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya.
In the name of yoga, you want to speak about peace. If you can't experience it in your own life, if you can't live with other people and maintain peace in spite of challenges, in spite of differences, how can you model that for the entire world? Words don't give us hope, but examples give us hope.
Perfect. Yeah. Yep. We're going to do the meal prayer, and we're going to start on the left side with the Sanskrit, and then move over to the right side, and that's the English. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om, beloved Mother Nature, you are here on our table as our food.
Swami Satchidananda designed Yogaville to be a spiritual home for whoever would abide by the yogic teachings such as nonviolence, truthfulness, non-stealing, and wanted to live with others, to support one another, to go deep in our practices, and basically living a life of discipline, dedication, and devotion.
Let this holy day bring this light into you so that you can celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year, all the holy days, all the time.
And from different places. Starting there, there's photos and different artifacts representing from Gurudev's early days, his mother, his father, his begging bowl. He used to threaten us, if you people don't behave, I still have my begging bowl. I will walk out the door tomorrow. Not threaten, but he'd remind. Those are various awards. The Integral Yoga Teachings of Sri Swami Satchidananda is a comprehensive system that addresses every level of the individual: physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, social, and spiritual, with the idea of having harmonious, balanced development. The objective is to become easeful in body, not diseaseful, peaceful in mind, so that the life can be useful, and when we are easeful, peaceful, and useful, we become fit, we become open to experience our true nature, that supreme peace and joy within.
Let's give the Ramdas teaching crew a round of applause for helping me.
One of the first messages of Swami Satchidananda when he came to the West was, eat clean, organic food. Food makes the body, food makes the mind as well. Because once the mind in particular is purified, in particular is clean and calm, it becomes like a clear mirror to reflect our true nature without any distortion. There are several levels why vegetarianism is important. First level, nonviolence. In the name of sustaining ourselves to cause the least amount of harm possible. Also, if you examine the human body, we are physically set up to resemble more the herbivores rather than the carnivores. So this food is more conducive to be digested and assimilated most efficiently. And if in the name of yoga we do all these practices and at the same time toxify ourselves with our intake, we're working at cross purposes. So in that regard, from the very beginning, he encouraged that we have our own organic farm so that we could grow the food naturally, and not only naturally, but with all love.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Might be aphids.
Really?
Yeah, which isn't easy.
No, it's not.
A good example of what love would be. You see her wound on the front of her. They hurt her? Of her face. What? She was neglected so long that her head grew, and the halter had to be sliced out of her head by a veterinarian. But she says, now I know I have a home and I'm just as happy as him. Yes, he wants to camp.
Just get the outside ones. Say prayers for the little plants while we cut them. Gratitude.
All right. These are white.
Well, most people who come for the first time come for a welcome weekend. It's a designed guest experience. We also have our academy where we conduct teacher training programs, many trainings throughout the year. And then many people wanting to dive more deeply will apply for our light program. This is called Living Yoga Training. It's a month-long experience that can be extended up to 3 months if one wishes, in which one goes deeper into living the spiritual practices, living a spiritual life full-time.
Asian philosophies, and particularly by the Bhagavad Gita. He was really inspired, and you can see the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita in his writing, in his poetry. So,
perfection in action is yoga. An act becomes perfect when you do it with all joy and without expecting anything in return.
Hatha Yoga is the portal through which most people find yoga. But Hatha Yoga is only one aspect. In fact, all the different asanas that we do in the name of Hatha Yoga were designed in ancient times by the yogis when they saw that people were not able to sit steadily and well in order to go deep in their meditation. The goal of all the asanas was to find a steady meditation pose so the mind could settle and go deep, and ultimately we would transcend the mind to experience what the yogis call the presence of the divine within us. We can talk a lot about the need for harmony and interfaith dialogue and understanding, but experiencing it in some way by getting inside a space devoted to that and feeling the peace that has developed there over all these years when people from so many different faiths and traditions have come to pray and meditate. When you go into the main sanctuary, in the center there's a beautiful white light that moves upward to the top of a dome. There it splits into 12 blue rays. Each ray comes down and illuminates an altar dedicated to one of the world's major faiths. The yantra is an abstract, universal, geometrical representation of the divine. For the Integral Yoga organization, it represents our main deity. He wanted all of us to embrace a more universal spirituality, which is what Integral Yoga aims at doing. Lotus gives visual testimony to the truth that we all come from and eventually return to the same source. And the message that is being conveyed by Lotus is rejoice in the diversity, celebrate it, and at the same time remember the unity that connects us all. It's not another religion, but it embraces the principles that are foundational to major faith traditions, and it provides tools, techniques, practices that can help anyone go deeper in their own faith tradition. He performed an experiment here. It was a total experiment. Whenever people would come and visit, and then they would be about to leave, he would say, remember, this is your home. You are welcome here anytime.